Hi everybody, it's Anna here with Unearthed Arcana, and we are back today with another Skyrim Wildlander adventure episode featuring the violent hack-and-slash exploits of Akai, the orc warrior. She's currently chilling just outside of Whiterun at I think it's the Hunting Brew Meadery, which is just this super cutesy little brew pub on the outskirts of town, just hanging out with her buddy Sabjorn. He's the owner, and we got some staff in the back. It's just kind of chill vibes before we go and just massacre a bunch of bandits. In today's episode, we're going to be clearing out Valtheim Towers, which is a let's just say heavily guarded, heavily fortified bandit outpost on the border between East March to the east and Whiterun, where we are now. We got a bounty to clear out the Valtheim Towers area and kill the bandit leader. I think we picked that up down in Riverwood from the innkeeper. So that's what we're going to do today. As far as our overall run, we're obviously focusing on heavy armor and two-handed combat and the techniques that make that a successful playstyle and can help you in your own runs as you're learning how to play that playstyle and kill enemies without losing all your stamina or just getting killed. So this is mostly a technique highlight video just as much as it is about carving through some fun dungeons and kind of seeing how it's done. Like how Sabjorn here is side-eyeing Akai and is like, yo lady, what are you doing here? As far as our run itself goes, we obviously you can probably see right now, we don't have a HUD on our screens. Even if I have my crossbow out and I'm aiming, there's no crosshair, there's no resource bars for our health and stamina, there's no enemy health bars. Just makes the run a lot more immersive for me. We also have unpaused menus, so if the menus are open, it doesn't actually pause the game. The action is obviously still continuing, which means that I can't pause in the middle of a fight to regain my bearings. I have to kind of move quickly if I have to open up a menu. And then it's a permadeath run, so if our character Akai dies, that's the end of the run for her. Just increases the stakes, makes combat more exciting for me. Let's take a look at where we are perk-wise. So in the first episode, we cleared out Embershard mine at level 1. Last time we cleared out Fort Neugrad at level 3 and 4. We're now level 5. We leveled up after selling some of the loot from Fort Neugrad. There was a ton of loot there. I got a point in stamina, so we went from 135 stamina to 140. And then I also grabbed this point in combat training for heavy armor. Which means that our power attacks cost even less stamina. So combined with the Barbaric Might perk, which we grabbed midway through last episode, we can now effectively use power attacks and heavy armor without our stamina just tanking to 0 really quickly. So that's going to be a big feature of what we're doing today. I'm going to put this lantern on so we have some better lighting inside of our little brew pub experience. As far as items go, we got the heavy crossbow. Love the crossbow. I think it's a really strong item for really all characters, but especially for heavy armor characters. It's a great way for them to initiate, deal some damage, and then charge in. But our primary weapon is going to be this ancient Nordic honed greatsword. I smithed this in between last episode and this one with some corundum ingots. This is sort of the best early game greatsword you can get before you hit dwarven or elven or better gear like that. And you can just get this just with the basic smithing perk. Better than a steel greatsword, but it does require corundum. So we're using that today, and I've upgraded it. Just like I kind of re-upgraded all of Akai's steel armor. We have this Staff of Firebolts that I got off a random bandit that I killed on a camp at the kind of right near Embershard mine, but I'm probably not going to use it. The only reason it's still in my inventory is I couldn't find a merchant that had enough gold to buy it, so it's just hanging out right there. I did pick up an Amulet of Talos. I got the Amulet of Talos, if we go to our world map, at a Shrine to Talos that's kind of right down here near the Falkwraith Lake. I think it's Lake Honrick or something. And there's a Shrine of Talos there as well, where Akai did a quick prayer to Talos to get his blessing as well. And we also picked up an amulet from a dead Talos worshipper there. And then as far as potions go, we just got a bunch of health potions. The good potions are from our clear of Fort Neugrad, but all the other stuff, the crudes and the decents, I just bought at the Riverwood stores. I managed to kill a troll along the road too, because I had so many of those flame atronach scrolls, so I just used one of those scrolls to help kill the troll. And then we got beef stew, which is sort of our mandatory, like, early game combat buff. I got some mammoth tomato stew, mammoth cheese bowl, really great item that can give you some passive health regeneration if you're an orc or a character with a strong stomach. Mammoth cheese, noms noms. It's so gross. Anyway, it's not too gross for Akai though, and it does heal you up. Then I got a bunch of alchemy ingredients here because I killed 2 wolves, a rabbit, and like some mud crabs along the road to level up my hunterborn skills. And as a result of that, I was able to grab a bone of Hircine, which is a consumable that gives me a passive bonus to stamina regeneration and is really, really helpful in the early game. Really, it's good at all phases of the game, but it's strong in the early game especially. And then I already have the mammoth tomato stew, and then there's that blessing of Talos. Gives me a little bit more armor penetration. I think that's it as far as recap goes. Obviously, there were a ton of techniques we talked about last time. Things like chopping down the tree, bash interruption, cutting the corner, and we'll probably use those in today's episode. But the big techniques we're going to focus on today are going to be power attacks. And the reason that we're able to use these power attacks is because I got those perks, combat training and barbaric might, which means this only costs like, I don't know, 10 to 20 stamina per power attack instead of like 80 stamina, which it is at level 1. The 3 power attack techniques we're going to be looking at today, we're going to add these to our technique rotation. First one is just going to be this kind of lunging power attack. Oh, sorry, Sabjorn. Like making a mess of this poor guy's pub. The lunging power attack we're going to use anytime we see one of those bandits do the stupid like shield bash taunt. We're going to punish them by doing a lunging power attack. We also might use it to close the distance on enemy archers. The other power attacks we'll use is a side power attack. So moving left or right. If I'm kind of in third person here, you can see like that really kind of Sabjorn's like, yo, don't hit me with your sword, crazy lady. You can see the really cool animation for that. But the side power attacks are really good. When we're circling an enemy, we can get a stagger on them. And then after we get the stagger, we can continue to circle on them and get a follow-up swing while they're recovering from the stagger. So really good technique we'll use today. Last technique we'll probably add today is the reverse power attack. Basically, while we backpedal, enemies will advance towards us slightly faster than we're backpedaling, which means if we do a quick reverse power attack like that, they'll walk into it. And it'll either stagger them or we'll catch them in a timing gap and it'll probably just kill them in one hit. So those are the power attack techniques we're going to add. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head out of the warm brew pub, eat my beef stew, and then head on over to Valtheim Towers, and I'll rejoin you all right at the entrance to that when we get the fight started. So I'll be right back. Thanks all. Valtheim Towers. It's so pretty in the distance, so serene with like the mountains and forests framing it. It's like really too bad that it's totally swarming with bandits. It's I think in the vanilla version of Wildlander and Requiem, it's got something like 15 to 20 bandits, but we have this mod added called More Spawns Randomized, which means it can have as many as like 25 to 30 bandits or anywhere in between. So we'll see how many bandits we end up getting as we get a little bit closer. As far as buffs go, I did have the beef stew. Yeah, had the beef stew right there. And then I'm also going to use this Fortify Health Regen potion that I grabbed at the Riverwood Trader. And then we're gonna nom down this mammoth cheese. Nom nom nom. Unpasteurized mammoth cheese. It gives a good health regeneration buff though. I always view that as like the Skyrim equivalent of that like Sardinian cheese or Corsican cheese or wherever it is in the Mediterranean that has like the maggots in it and it's like super gnarly. We can start to see the enemies here though. So the priority in this fight is killing archers. We have to kill archers and crossbow people because those people are going to kill us so quickly if we just let them shoot us. Everything else is sort of secondary to that. What we'll also be doing is... I do want to check my hotkeys. I think I'm going to put the crude potion there, and I also want skooma hotkeyed for hotkey 6 as sort of like a panic button. Oh god, look at all these guys. Anyway, we have to kill the crossbow people first or this becomes a serious problem. Sometimes they attack you like the moment you get over here and other times they wait and talk to you. Looks like this time we're gonna get to talk to them, so let's have a little conversation.
Hold it. This here's a toll road, see?
A toll road, see? She's got that like 1920s gangster cadence. She's like, this here's a toll road, see? And it's like, nah, how about you let me through and I don't kill and behead you and literally everyone else here.
Tough talk for someone who's about to have their guts spilled.
Rude. Okay. So priority here are these little archers. So we got 3 guys here and then we have the archer. So I just let them get their weapons out because I kind of... Ooh, that was really close. That was a good example of where like you do need a quick block and like you can't really get a bash interrupt off. Okay, there's another archer there. We're gonna lure these guys away and close the gap on the archer. Quickly turn around, make sure we don't get hit by that. Let's pop a stamina potion now. This lady's kind of isolated. Ooh, that was super scary. I do want to kill this crossbow person. Oh shit, that person hit me though. You can kind of see we're like trying to balance covering these gaps, but we're also like getting hit. Okay, so we got those archers gone. Let's get out of that little area. We don't want to fight in the open because the crossbowmen and archers are going to hit us. Let's get back here where they can't shoot us reliably and start working down these guys. So we killed the guy there on the back. Oh, fuck. There's Elsie. Elsie's the boss. So now what we're going to do, now that all the melee people are out here... Oh, I missed this archer. That was really clever. Thinks he's clever anyway. Alright, so we got another guy there that we tagged. I'm going to pop my health potion. Oh, I'm actually doing okay on health. I'm going to run in here, close the door, grab those potions, and keep on running. At this point, we're just hunting archers. I don't know if there's any in here, but I don't want to leave. There's not a health potion there. I love that there's like health potions near their toilet. It's so gross. Alright, so there's no more archers in here. The good news is we can't get shot here. The bad news is we're kind of cornered. But I will use this opportunity to quickly 1v1 Elsie. Alright, I don't want to get stuck in this fucking corner though, so I do have to get out of there. Ooh, there's a lot of people here. Okay, let's pop potions. I'm gonna use my better potions here. I'm gonna look for an opening. Okay, we got her. Oh, there's an archer. Alright, so let's close that gap here. Take him down, and let's keep moving. So that time we use the table to kind of just get out of there. I could knock this guy down, but I'm worried if I knock him down, he'll land in the river after getting knocked off the bridge. And if he lands, more potions. And if he lands in the fucking river, he'll shoot me from the river, and then I'm not going to be able to get to him. I think this guy was an archer, and he just ditched out his bow. I think that's all the enemies, though. I think like we at least know where they all are. Alright, Elsie's coming. Let's try to kill whoever comes up the stairs first, because I think we're good on archers for now. She's using this battle staff. Battle staves are scary because they're hit hard and they're super fast. So I have to get really clean bash interrupts on her. What I am going to do here though is I might be able to get a power attack on one of these guys. Elsie's like using the bathroom right now. Ugh, this is bad. I'm going to get stuck in the corner here. Okay, let's get an exit. Oh fuck, I'm stuck on the goddamn table. Woo! Okay, we got out of the corner. Let's funnel them up here. We have the high ground, just like Obi-Wan and Anakin. Let's get a good bash interrupt on this guy. This is actually a good opportunity for... Ooh, this guy's gonna run away, so let's kill him. Get Elsie on the back swing there. Mistimed that. That's too bad. We're still doing okay, and they're kind of funneled for now. We're not getting cornered. So what we're gonna do here is I really want one of them to come up the stairs. They might get stuck, though. I could kind of cheese this at this point and just kind of chop down the tree and just hammer into them. Oh god, I just like dismembered that corpse! Whoa, it's super gross. I could chop down the tree here and cheese this, but like, this is obviously just like bad Skyrim AI. So I'm gonna kind of like force the issue here and jump down and continue the fight. I don't think we're gonna get flanked at this point. So what I'm gonna do is let this person advance down the stairs, and then I'm gonna do a rear power attack and catch him on the advance. Unless it's Elsie. If it's Elsie, I'm gonna fight her differently. Ooh, we had to get blocks there. Kind of was a little slow, but that's okay. That's what blocking is for. I am gonna pop a crude health potion though, just in case. I really want to kill Elsie here. Oh, I totally missed that block, but that's okay, because I did end up getting the kill. Okay, now we're at the phase that Elsie's dead. That's kind of the biggest threat, so we can switch to some power attacks. What I'm gonna do to get a better angles on these guys is move over here, fight them on the straightaway, so that way we can start getting some power attacks and get better bashes. Because right now they're all kind of clustered, and it's causing issues with how they're swinging. Ooh, that was super close. Okay, let's lure him down to the bridge here. You can see like the trail of corpses. And here's where we're gonna get like a really nice natural funnel. And we're gonna start using power attacks. The next person who does that shield taunt, if they're at the front of the mob, I'm gonna hit them. But here, I'm gonna use reverse power attacks. So I'm gonna get a little bit more distance. Ooh, that was super bad. I got really caught off on the timing there. I am gonna pop a potion because he hit me with a full power attack and I wasn't doing anything to block. Okay, let's reverse power attack this lady though. So she's advancing, we got the power attack. Ah, I can't believe that didn't hit her. Let's try again. There we go. So we caught her in a little timing gap right there. We're gonna do the exact same thing to this guy. We'll pop a crude potion though, just in case. Let him advance, and then get the power attack. Gosh, I'm really fucking up the timing on these.
You're a fool.
That's a little bit better. Okay, let's get the follow-up. Okay, so that guy's dead. We did eat an axe hit there, but I think it's worth it to kill that guy. If one of these guys power attack or taunts with his shield, we'll try to smack him down. So on this guy, I think we're gonna do a sideways power attack to take him down because he's like kind of in this little area here. Got a little close there. Let's get out of the corner, navigating around the table. Alright, let's reverse power attack this guy as he gets closer. A little too close there. Get a little more distance, try again. Get the hit. Get the follow-up. Ah, still ate the power attack though, which is just not super great. It's okay, we have some crude health potions. We're not getting flanked. I heard someone say we'll carve you into pieces though. I don't know where that person is.
Can't wait to count out your coin.
It's not behind me. Alright, let's just wait for these guys to advance. We'll wait for one of them maybe to taunt us. That's a really great example of a rear power attack, catching them at the end of their power attack. This guy, we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to power attack, hit him, and then finish. Very clean, very clean. Okay, I don't know if there's one left. My border is still red. I wonder if this guy, like, fell down here. I think I see him right there. Yeah, he fell. Oh, no. Alright, that's fine. We'll get to end this fight with, like, a 1v1 down here. And I'll get to do some side power attacks on this guy, because we haven't gotten to see any side power attacks yet. Yeah, this will be a nice, clean kind of way to end the fight. Alright, so let's do some side power attacks on this guy. So side power attacks... Oh, that was a really clean side power attack. And his fucking arm got sliced off. So what ended up happening there was I went in for the side power attack, and he started to wind up for a bash, but it was way too late for him to do that. So he ends up eating the full power attack and just kills him. Woo! What a fight. Also, what a great view to end this episode with. We got, like, Akai here, and she's fucking slathered in blood. She's got this, like, corpse behind her, and we got the view of Valtheim with the moon and everything. This guy's dismembered arm is there. Overall, a really clean Valtheim fight. There are some other little tricks in Valtheim I'll show you before I wrap up for the day. Kind of jump across here. This is gonna bathe Akai. Ugh, she's also freezing now because that water was really cold. Here's kind of all the corpses of all the archers that we killed as we were maneuvering around the melee band at the very beginning. More archers up here. And I think there were some melee people, like these two guys overextended on swings. We were able to get the kill. But there's some other tricks to Valtheim that, like, I did not use. Like, there's a really great healing potion here. It's like a remarkable, or maybe it's even a superlative sometimes. Oh, it's just a great. Anyway, you could have used that. That would have made the fight even easier. But we ended up just doing this with decent crudes and I think one good potion. We also did not even need to use rage. So I could have used rage at any point during that, made it a tiny bit easier. I just didn't feel it was necessary and I was able to work these guys down anyway. Obviously the bridge is sort of a mixed blessing. We ended up using the bridge to kill, I don't know, like 8-9 enemies here. But if you get to the bridge too early, you'll get sandwiched between the enemies in this tower and the enemies here. And then your only way out is to jump into the water and reset the entire fight. Because you can't fight enemies from two sides. God, this is so grisly. This guy's like on his friend and he's got this like stump of his arm. Blood everywhere. And then in this section up here, obviously there were points where like the bad Skyrim AI got stuck and we could have just like used a crossbow or used some magic to cheese them right here. Like I had the flame atronach scroll I could have used. I could have used the staff of firebolts. Could have just used a crossbow. But instead we were able to fight them the much more orky way. Oh my god, this- oh god, he's got no head! Blah, his head's right there. It's so gross. This chest here also, if you're gonna do this at lower levels, it's an adept level chest. So you won't be able to open it unless you have adept lockpicking or a scroll of knock. And I grabbed a scroll of knock, I think at some point before this fight. Honestly, nothing super great here. Nothing that's really gonna upgrade our character. I'll loot all that later. There's like an enchanted bow here, but we're not gonna use it over a crossbow. Honestly, the best loot that I'm gonna snag here is going to be, I'm gonna ditch my current cloak. And we're gonna take Elsie's cloak for sure. I'm gonna leave her with all of her armor. She's earned her armor in this fight. Akai is gonna recognize that. Anyways, that's it for the fight, and that's it for kind of like a quick after-action commentary. We got the blood moon too. Fuck yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, the double blood moon, I love it. So thanks for joining Akai. I'll probably do some post-production commentary at the end of all this. But that's it for the actual, like, during the video commentary and the fight. So I'll see y'all in the post-production. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the absolute massacre of Valtheim Towers. I'm curious how many enemies we killed. I might count them up in post-production. Bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's Anna here in post-production. So when I was going back through the video, honestly, the commentary was pretty clean. Like, it wasn't super chaotic at times, so I was able to get some pretty solid comments. But there are a few areas that I want to emphasize or add some extra context to. So maybe like 4 or 5 clips at the end here. This first one is about the importance of switching mental gears between a bash interrupt and just a block. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to run up on this archer, get the kill on him, but then right as I do that, this Argonian is going to come in super hot with an overhead greatsword swing. And I'm going to get caught in this kind of mental gap where it's going to be really difficult for me to bash interrupt him before he can land this swing. And I think what can happen here in your own playthroughs is you can commit to the bash because you're so used to bashing things that you try to go for a bash and miss it and just eat this entire greatsword power attack, which could be super bad. So instead what I do is I kind of realize like, oh shit, I've missed the timing on this, or at least missed the safe timing window on this. And instead what I do is I just do an actual block, which ends up probably blocking the vast majority of the damage. I probably only take like 5 or 10 damage tops from this attack. So just a good reminder that as you're maneuvering around, if you realize you've lost a bash interruption window, or if the window is too short for or small for your reflexes to react in, not a big deal. That's why we have perks in block. Just do an actual block and then keep on moving. Okay, so for this next clip, obviously going to start off with like a really nice bash here that's going to absorb a bunch of damage, but the main thing I want to talk about is navigating out of getting cornered. So I think there's this temptation as a heavy armor character that we're always going to be slow, tankish juggernauts who just absorb hits and don't run around, and we save all the acrobatic nonsense for all those squishy barbarian types and rogue and dual wielder types. But honestly, I don't think that's accurate at all. I think there is really a time as a heavy armor character where you have to kind of turn and burn and get out of corners and move quickly. That's what I'm going to do here. When you do this, you're always looking for small windows to get through before you get actually cornered. So if you wait until you're fully cornered, you'll lose these windows because you won't be able to push through enemies who have surrounded you. I identify that, oh shit, I'm going to get cornered here, find the gap between Elsie and her companion, and then just kind of run through it. For this next part, I reset the fight on the back wall of this little room, but realize I'm going to get cornered again. And this is a good example of using the natural environment to your advantage. So the enemy is not going to be able to like toss the table. That'd be super cool if there was a mod that was like the enemy flips the table over and gets close to you, but that is not Skyrim. That is not the Skyrim we know and love. So I use the table as sort of a natural parting gap between them, and then when I find an opening, I actually just jump up on the table and run over it, which is fun and kind of cinematic, but also means that I have a clear avenue of escape even from the beginning to get to that archer in the back. So when you're kind of getting your back to a wall, which is good because if your back is to a wall, it's harder to get flanked, make sure you find exits when you need them, or at least build exits into your game plan. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is just this rear power attacks. I'm going to miss it here, but like it's not a big deal if you miss it because all you waste is stamina, and when you get it, you catch them at the very tippy tip of your end of your blade, and then you manage to get this power attack that they just like really don't have any ability to block. So always lean towards being slightly too far away, because if you're too far away, it's not a big deal. You know, you'll waste a little bit of stamina and reset. If you're too close, though, you end up getting bashed, temporarily staggered, which deals a tiny bit of damage and potentially opens you up with other hits. So lean towards staying a little bit far back. Here I'm going to get too close to this lady, and you're going to see this like stagger where I get pushed back into that corner, and that's just like not necessary. And if there was someone close to me, I could have taken more damage there. This time I do it a little better. So first he bashes me, and then I actually tap the run key to back up a little bit faster. So I'm alternating between running and walking as I back up, which ends up getting enough distance because he's moving at basically a consistent speed, and then I move slightly faster, slightly slower, fall slightly faster, slightly slower, and am able to get that gap. Here I notice that this guy's stamina is super drained. You can always tell that because they're moving super slow. So what I do is I kind of get further away and bait him into that lunging power attack, and I'm ready with the back power attack at the end of his swing. This one's a little bit cleaner. You can see that he's moving forward a lot quicker than I am, moving backwards. That's because he's in light armor and I'm in heavy armor. He walks right into the reverse power attack and dies. And then obviously here at the end, this is a really clean side power attack. I start it, but just like a little too far away for him to bash. And then what ends up happening is he starts the bash when it's way too late. So just some good examples of power attacks right there. I think those are all the big things for post-production commentary though. Overall, a pretty clean fight. I'm pretty happy with it when I was rewatching it. There are a few like little sloppy things, but ultimately when you're doing permadeath style clears of these major bandit areas, like you're gonna have little sloppy things, and it's not the end of the world because you're not dying, you're still beating the enemies, and you're not cheesing. I recommend not cheesing in Skyrim as much as possible because it doesn't actually make you better. It's just sort of a crutch that you can use to make up for a lack of a combat skill. And then you'll get into fights where you won't be able to cheese them, and then you're not sure how to navigate them. So anytime you can get through a permadeath fight without dying, using a bunch of your combat techniques and not cheesing it, it's probably a big success. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all in our next episode where we're going to take on Bleak Falls Barrow, which is going to be super, super fun. I'm really excited for that one. So I hope everyone's having a good holiday week, and I will see you all soon as I get that episode done. Bye, everybody.